Welcome, Expansion Portal. Say hello. I'm just going to give you guys a couple minutes to jump on here. Let me know when you are here with me live. Happy Thursday. I was almost said Wednesday. Happy Thursday and happy new moon in Pisces. We have a new moon in Pisces and a sun in Pisces all at the same time, which is leaving us in a space of extreme emotion. There's a lot of people that I know right now that are feeling very, very emotional and really going through the ringer. So let me know if you are one of those so we can help you shift that. Today, we are going to be talking about optimizing vitality, physical and mental health issues from a spiritual perspective. This is something that is very, very, very important to me for a number of reasons. And it's my mission, part of my mission. I have lots of pieces to my mission, lots of layers to it, as I'm sure we all do. But this is a big, big piece, a big foundational piece to my mission is to really not just assist people with being able to see things from a different perspective, but to be able to realize how preventive you can be and how much that the process of really getting to know yourself and really allowing some of this perspective to shift really uncovers more of the core of who you are, right? It secures a healthy foundation for us here in our physical bodies as human beings. But vitality is really, it's not just about mental health and it's not just about physical health. So we're going to talk some about that today. And I want to be able to answer your questions as to what's coming up for you. Hi, Kim. Good to see you. I also want to talk about, what's come up for you guys. My own physical health journey over the past 20 years. I've been a therapist for 20 years, but my own physical health journey over the past 6 years has been quite the roller coaster and definitely an education. And I have learned an enormous amount at this point to be able to support my physical body, to support other people, and to be able to be really preventive about what continues to come forward in our field. So, also as a therapist for 20 years, I mean, I've learned a ton about, of course, I know about mental health to the ends of the earth, like the back of my hand, right? But being able to really look at this through a different lens has illuminated mental health in a completely different way for me in the past 6 years since I really integrated this work into my traditional therapy work. So I'm definitely an expert in that area, definitely an expert in being able to help people from the traditional therapy perspective, in addition to the spiritual and energetic perspective as well. So if you're here, let me know. Hi, Kalashri. How are you, honey? Definitely say hello and let me know what is coming up in your field that you would like to discuss around physical health and emotional health and how it's kind of presenting in your field, because there's a connection between all of it, right? And what I love about working with energy. Hi, Tina. Nice to meet you too. Thanks for being here. What I love about working with energy is that we have the ability, as we learn more and more and more about our energy, about our energetic field, about our soul, about our spirit, the more easily we can stop things from becoming mental health issues and physical health issues, because we have different layers to our energetic field, to our aura, right? Our body is the closest to us. Then we have our emotional field, our mental field, and then we have an astral field, and you keep going out. And so the more that we get intimately connected to these fields, we can pick up on the cues or the shifts that happen within them before they get to the physical body, before they get to the emotions. Okay. So if you're somebody like me, yes, Stacy, there will be a replay. This will stay in the group so you can return to it if you can't watch right now. But thanks for stopping in to say hi. So, so one of the things that I've learned in this process is, honestly, I've grown up a lot. I've grown up a lot in this process of working through my physical health. And what I've learned is that you really need to step your authority up. You need to step up your personal authority, put on your boss pants for taking care of yourself and taking care of your health, your mental wellness, your physical wellness. This means don't be half-assed about eating the things that you're supposed to be eating. Don't be half-assed about doing the things that you know are going to really serve you, and what I call love yourself forward. Because even if it's something you don't want to do in the moment, you know that it's going to ultimately help you long term. And it's being able to really be a parent to yourself. That's what it's about with the physical health and the mental health. And a lot of times we do this, but we do it sparingly or we don't do it consistently. And then what is the message that our body gets? What is the message that our emotions get? They get the message that we are not consistent caretakers. They get the message that they're not important enough to us, right, are hustling to get more money or are hustling to get that perfect relationship or whatever it happens to be seems to be more important to us than our physical health and our mental health. And that's what I see most often these days is people in this go, go, go hustle mentality, working their asses off, and they're not prioritizing their wellness. And the wellness looks different for everybody. Wellness is not the same formula for every single person. And I love being able to tune into that for myself and for other people to be able to say, okay, this is where your wellness is right now. Where do you desire to be? And what are the steps that we need to take as we tune into your unique physiological system, in addition to your unique emotional dynamics and your energetic blueprint to be able to identify, okay, where are you now? Where do you desire to go? And what are the tweaks that we need to make? And sometimes those tweaks are not always comfortable, right? Sometimes when we are healing and we are expanding and we're empowering ourselves and we're stepping into this next level, it's not necessarily the most comfortable process, but it's one that we know is going to pay dividends for years and years and decades to come. And so it's not meaning that you have to sacrifice your comfort in order to have long-term vitality, because what you're going to feel is that you're going to get that feedback right away. You're going to start feeling better right away in a stepwise progression. Okay. Hi, Maria. So good to see you, honey. So, what questions do you have? That's one of the things I was saying with this workshop. Like, bring what you have questions about when it comes to mental health, when it comes to physical health, because they're so multi-layered and they're such broad topics. And I want to make sure that I'm able to give you guys a couple nuggets to be able to apply today for your unique situation, to be able to start to move through. How am I currently taking care of myself? And where do I have room to open up more space, time, opportunity, love, compassion to be able to care for myself? Okay, that's one of the key things that I want you to think about. Okay? Because when we look at the space that we open up for ourselves, how patient are we? How much opportunity are we really allowing to just shift and settle into our field in a way that really serves us, rather than this is exactly what I want and desire. This is the agenda I'm looking for out of this situation. And if this doesn't get me to that agenda, then I'm going to kick it to the curb. We're very impatient. And one of the things that I've noticed, especially when we have energy that settles into our physical bodies as pain or illness or disease of some kind, that energy's already gone through all the other fields, right? It's already gone through all the other fields and it's made it down to the physical body. And when we are clearing and healing things from the physical body, there is no way in hell that's going to change overnight, unless you're going to take a bunch of medication, right? And my goal is to not have people take a bunch of medication. There's been so much medication thrown at me over the past 6 years. And I didn't accept any of it because I wanted to know how my body felt. I wanted to allow it to guide me. And I knew that it was going to take some time. And there were definitely many times when I wasn't patient, and definitely many times when I'd have my tantrums. But I'd also love myself through the tantrums and be able to know that what was on the other side of that was me being able to feel so much better and so much more freedom and so much more space. So Kalashri says, how do you start to identify what emotion is hurting an illness or disease? I feel like there's so much to do, I forget me, says Stacy. Exactly. That's the problem. But who says there's so much to do? And what is that ultimate goal? Like all that stuff that you're doing, where is that taking you? Right? Because like what I'll say is, yes, you can be successful and vital by pushing. You absolutely can. You can create a successful business that way, and you can take care of your health that way. But you're gonna burn out. It's not sustainable long term. It's going to sap your adrenals. It's going to really impact your respiratory system, your cardiovascular system. The efficiency of your body is going to be seriously impacted. So you're not going to be able to hold as much at once. And when we're doing this work, we're infinite beings. We want to connect to our soul. We want to expand beyond the physical beings that we are. We want to be able to see infinite possibility and infinite healing and infinite opportunity to be able to get to get to that next level of who we are. Okay? And so let me go back to your comment. There's so much to do that I forget me. Yeah, and so it's just when we fill our lives with too much, we don't have space for more. And that more is what the universe desires to drop into our field because it knows it's going to make us feel better. Like there's a free masterclass that I have been working on that's going to be coming out in the next couple of days. And I'm so excited about it because it's something very, very different than I've ever offered. And when this first came forward to me in the way that it's being done, I was like hemming and hawing. Ugh, I don't like doing things this way, blah, 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 blah. But the universe dropped this into my lap. And I'll tell you, it's been a wonderful experience for me. It's been very creative. It's been very expansive. It's been very grounding for me. And that's the beautiful thing. As we stay open and allow ourselves to witness our reactions and our resistance as it comes up around shifting and changing and doing things differently, we're then able to really have so much more opportunity. And the thing is, you'll notice when you start to open up your awareness and start to allow some of these opportunities to come into your field, the universe is going to rapid fire drop more into your field because it knows you're listening and you're actually implementing it. Okay, you're rephrasing your question. It's a good thing that my brain jumped to another one, Kalashri. Rephrasing my question. How do we know which emotion creates a certain illness? Okay, so that's cool. So there's a couple things we can do around that. So one is if you have Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life book, that's a really great tangible human resource for you to use. She has an index in the back of that. And so you can look up basically anything that's coming up, right? Anything that's coming up for you from your physical body. And look that up in the index and it'll tell you what the emotion or the limiting belief is that exists underneath it. So that's one tangible tool that you can use. That's a little bit of that quick fix, that magic pill that we're looking for, because our ego likes to have answers. And that's one of the things in this process of healing, my friends, when you're healing from physical or mental health stuff, that you've got to disconnect from your ego having an answer in the moment every time. There's a lot of trust here, and trust takes time. So I want you to be patient and give yourself space as you navigate this. But trust takes time to be able to know, yes, I know that changes are being made. I know I'm getting better, even if you don't feel it yet. And we like those tangibles because our human feels safer. Okay. So the other thing is the energetic piece of tuning into what is it within our physical bodies that's communicating to us the emotions that exist underneath. Okay, so I'll take you through an exercise now. I actually just did this exercise the other day. So some of you may be familiar with this. This is a pretty standard one in the industry, but it's one that's very effective that I've used over and over and over and over and over again. So let's just dive into that for a moment, and you guys can identify what emotions are coming up from your physical body. And you can tune into any sensations now, or you can tune into an illness that you have where that lives in your body, and we can extract that. Okay? So close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in. Releasing anything that no longer serves you. Taking another nice deep breath in all the way to the top. And allowing a nice slow release. And tuning into your physical body or the illness that you would like to connect with. Identifying any areas where you may be holding tension or discomfort, or where you feel this illness resides within your body. And once you find that space, I want you to identify the size of the energy. How much space is this taking up? What color is it? What is its temperature? What is its texture? And as we observe this energy, we're going to take it in our hands and gently and safely remove it from our physical bodies so it's hanging out in the air in front of us. We allow that space within us to be filled with unconditionally loving and healing energy from the Akash. You can picture it as a sparkling white light or a sparkling champagne light coming in to fill that space within you. And as we gaze at this energy that's hanging out outside of us, we're going to ask it a question. And when I ask this question, I want you to respond in the comments with the first word that comes to your mind. Don't think about it. Don't analyze it. Don't search. Just drop it in the comments as soon as I ask this question. And the question is, what were you trying to teach me? And when you've gotten your word, we're going to take a seed of white light and we're going to plant it inside of this energy that exists outside of us. And with our breath, we're going to expand the light of this seed so that it encompasses the entire ball of energy that we've removed from our bodies. Allow it to be fully illuminated. And once the light has filled this entire area, we're going to place it back into our heart space. Using your breath again to expand the light from your heart space as it distributes through your entire physical body and expands into your aura. Taking a nice deep breath here to integrate these changes. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So let me know what came forward for you. What was the one word that came forward for you? Because this is a cue into your subconscious mind. It's a tool. It's going to give you that information you're looking for in terms of what emotion underlies the illness or the physical sensation or the pain or the discomfort. And then you can work with that, right? You can journal on it. You can seek some assistance or guidance around it. You can ask your guides for more information. Magnificent. So that's what I would do. I would make this a journal prompt. I am magnificent, or how am I magnificent? Or what am I meant to see about my magnificence right now? How am I meant to step further into my magnificence? Okay. Flexibility. I love that, Tina. Flexibility is vital when we are healing. 100% love it. Resilience. Oh, these are good words. You guys are kicking ass. Claire, I have to save this and come back and listen. I've been wondering about my mental health meds affecting my spiritual life or intuition. Yep. I take something for anxiety, depression, and ADD. I know I need them, but don't know if there's a way to come off them or if they're even affecting my connection. Okay, so and I have some thoughts on that for sure. And thank you so much for bringing that forward because, you know, I'm not a big fan of meds, but I've encouraged clients to get meds before in the past, people who really aren't functioning, right, or severely suicidal, but on a temporary basis. And so I think that it's really important for us to release. Love that, Megan. Expanding, Maria. Thank you. So, so I think that they serve a purpose. They serve a purpose in terms of you being able to get to the point where you feel like you have enough skills and tools to not only be able to manage it, but to be able to sustain it. Okay. Because when we use skills and tools, it's like, okay, that feels good. I'm going to implement this tool like cognitive behavioral therapy or dialectical behavioral therapy, which those are great tools. Don't get me wrong, but that's just surface level. A lot of what we receive from the medical doctors and from the mental health system are helpful. Don't get me wrong, but they just don't go deeply enough. They just don't go deeply enough to the point where we can sustain this long term. And so it's being able to say, where am I in terms of being able to manage these things? How automatic are these skills that I'm automatically thinking of positive affirmations to replace the negative self-talk that I have going on in my head? Where am I automatically shifting to gratitude? Where am I automatically shifting to check in with my inner child? And that's the other one that I wanted to tell you, Kalashri, is that in addition to the book and the exercise we just did, tuning into your inner child is a beautiful way to get information about anything that's been going on chronically within you. Chronic illness, chronic mental health issues, chronic doubt, chronic indecision, anything that's going on longer than a couple years, because that's how we define chronic in adults, is 2 years or more. In adolescence, it's 1 year or more, okay? And so when we're looking at that, our inner child holds and carries all of the codes and wisdom and wounds that have come forward from this lifetime, previous lifetimes, ancestry, etc. So tuning into and doing work, deep work with your inner child and cultivating that relationship is also really going to help you identify what are the emotions under here and soothing your inner child in that way, parenting your inner child in the way that you would take care of any child or pet or loved one, okay? Alrighty, so so Claire, let me just jump back to this question, and then I'm going to jump into Stacy's question too. So with meds, this is what I would say: identify really where you are in terms of automating your skills, right? Because obviously, this is something that you would want to do, as I'm supposed to say, under the care of a doctor, correct? However, it's really about tuning into your body. Do you feel like your body, out of the 3 medications that you're taking for anxiety, depression, and ADD, which ones do you feel, which one is going to be the easiest for you to remove? You're so welcome, Klashri. Thanks for asking it. Because I'll tell you, looking at this intuitively, honey, the ADD meds are the first ones I would take away. And the reason I say that is because, you know, ADD is something that I think is so fascinating, and it's something that I am continuing to learn about and get downloads on over and over and over again. Not only because it presents within me, it presents within my son, it presents within so many people that I know. A lot of my clients have ADD, and really, I want you to shift that, because I don't like diagnostics anymore. I'm not a fan, because I truly feel that when we diagnose, it looks like there's something wrong with us, that we're faulty in some way, rather than saying, okay, it's not ADD. I'm multi-passionate, right? I'm restless and multi-passionate because I'm on the move. I got a motor running inside of me, and I got shit to do. My soul has big things to do on this planet right now. And if you have depression, anxiety, and ADD, I guarantee you, you are one of those people where you have big things to do in this world right now, okay? And big things to uncover so that your soul purpose becomes really clear. And yes, sometimes the medication can interfere a little bit with that. Not entirely, but what you'll notice, your intuition will continue to grow, okay? But when you come off the meds, it will expand very, very quickly. And so sometimes what can happen there is that people can become feeling really overwhelmed. I did not say that smoothly, but they get really overwhelmed because it's like, okay, I went off this med and then boom, my third eye opens so much more, and all these downloads come through, and they're like, I don't know how to manage all this energy. It's so much energy at once. There's so many beings, there's so many downloads, and like, I don't know how to compartmentalize this, make sense of it, organize it, implement it, integrate it into my life. And that can be overwhelming for people. So I would start with one at a time. There's also so many natural alternatives that you can add in to get yourself stabilized on as a supplement before you wean off your medication. And then you can play with the supplement later, because the supplement is herbs from Mother Earth, right? That our ancestors would just like grab out of the ground and munch on, and they would feel fabulous, right? And so it's really being able to remember that the medication, it's not medication or no medication, right? You can definitely go through processes and can't think of the word. Sequences is the word I was looking for. To really reset your nervous system, to rewire your nervous system, which is exactly what you need to do here, Claire. You need to rewire your nervous system. You need to reset and ground your nervous system. And there's a lot of different layers to that and a whole bunch of different processes. And there's a lot of people out there who are selling the nervous system work right now. They are really, it's kind of become like the buzzword and the hype word in the industry right now, like, oh, ground your nervous system, do the nervous system work. And I'm not saying that it's not valuable, because it is valuable. But again, it's still the physical layer, right? Healing the nervous system is just the physical layer. We need to go deeper than that. This is why in my Sacred Integration Mastermind, I'm teaching people the trauma informed care, so that they can be certified and help other people with this in a way that's actually educated. Because there's so many people out there who are not educated enough to be able to do these trainings. And it makes me a little crazy. It just makes me a little nervous, honestly, because I've been a therapist for 20 years. I've been training in trauma extensively and worked with trauma extensively. And there are so many really, really, really important layers to be able to include in this for yourself and for other people, so that you feel really solid long term, and it's not just like, okay, well, that tool really helped, thank you, and then move on. This is the first I've heard of it. Oh, the nervous system stuff, really? Oh my gosh, it's everywhere. Okay, so let me know if you have any other questions around that, Claire. Stacy, he said you're a one-woman show. Create the art, post the art, frame, take it to shows, blah, blah, blah. Then I'm a caretaker of two. So what I hear here is mindset, right? Mindset around this. That you are not a victim of your pace. You're not a victim of your circumstance. You're not a victim of your situation. You get to decide to make it easy. How can you make it easier? I'm a caretaker of 3 and a puppy and myself, and I think I'm more high maintenance than all 3 of my children and my puppy together when it comes to just taking care of my energy and my vitality. And I love it, though. I used to resent it and feel like it was an obligation, but now it's so good. Like, I just really appreciate and love loving on myself. And so I think that's part of the problem here. It's feeling like, well, I can't because I have to do everything, blah, 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 blah. Well, we need to change that frantic mindset. We need to shift that mindset, because you're going into this with a desperate energy around, well, I have to, I have to, I have to, I have to. Well, how can you make this easier? How can you fold whoever you're caretaking for into what you're doing? How can you lighten your load in terms of what you are posting, art, frame, take it to shows, blah, 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 blah. Victim mode, it still happens. Oh, it happens to everybody. I just get out of it really quickly now. Right? And the more that you do this work, you're going to notice it right away, and you're going to shift out of it right away. It's very natural and very human to get stuck in that mindset, but it's being able to, work at it every day. Exactly. Work at it every single day. And not in a way where it feels like work, but in a way that it feels like self-love, that you're giving yourself a gift to respond with compassion and be able to say, like, okay, so this is what is currently on the table. I have to do... Oh, sorry, this just shifted for me. I have to create the art. I have to post the art. I have to do the framing. I have to take it to shows. I have to da-da-da-da. Okay, so it sounds very scattered, very go, 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 very hustle energy. We need to dial that shit back and identify, what is your ultimate goal? What is your ultimate mission? What is your ultimate passion? What do you desire in this situation? Come back to your desire, and then we recraft it from there, okay? Because this mentality is just going to make you feel like you are, it's really going to make you feel like you can't get ahead of yourself, like you're burning the candle at both ends, and you are going to burn out at this pace. You're going to burn out emotionally or physically. Okay, so then money situation, pretty constricting. So that's really it's a vibrational and a mindset shift with the money, right? Because money is just energy. And it's really, I would encourage you to not look at money per se. I would encourage you to look more at your wealth identity, right? How are you identifying with your wealth identity? What is the wealth identity that you choose to embody? Okay. So, and that's a whole nother workshop. Embodying your wealth identity is definitely, that's a whole paid workshop, because that's a big topic. And that one's one that it's really about stepping into that. And it's really about trust. And it's really about receiving and continuing to take inspired action. But the question there is too, where are you clearing yourself as a channel? So that your channel is very, very clear when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to substances, when it comes to sleep, when it comes to just rest and relaxation, when it comes to connection and intimacy. Because one of the things that I have found over and over again, not only with myself, but with other people, is that when the symptoms come back up, whether it's, again, physical illness or mental health or mindset or money mindset, whenever that comes back up again, it's not a call for us to, oh, let's look at what we're doing wrong. Where am I going wrong? What am I off from? Okay? It's not that, because then again, that's something we have to fix. Instead, it's how can I deepen what I'm already doing so that I become the purest channel for myself and for spirit and for universal energy. If you are not operating at your purest, then you need to put on your big girl, big boy pants, big person pants, and say, I am willing, because it's that important to me. This goal is so important to me that I am going to prioritize my health and wellness. I'm going to prioritize creating space and a solid foundation, because I'll tell you, money is not going to feel safe with you if your foundation sucks. So you need to create a home that is safe for money to flow into and know that it's not just going to be sent right back out again and kicked to the curb, right? It wants to be nourished and nurtured. It is a relationship just like everything else. Our relationship with our bodies is a relationship. When was the last time you had a conversation with your body and you sat down and said, what is it that you need? How can I serve you today? How can I be of the deepest, most compassionate, expansive purpose to my body today? What is it that you need? How can I listen to you? And prioritize that, even if you have to go to 16 places. No, first I'm doing this. And then once I do this, then I am going to go to all these places, because my vitality is the most important. And if you don't prioritize that, the universe will hear that. So it's being able to really grow up, which is exactly what I've learned in this physical health journey, and say, no, like there's no me if I don't take care of me. And what's so cool is that, and you know what? This is an interesting insight that's coming forward too. Before I got really sick, I was happy, but I had a lot of anxiety and I wasn't as confident as I am now. I still had some confidence, but it was not even close to where I am now. But a lot of worthiness issues, right? And as you prioritize your physical health and your mental health, your worthiness expands, your feelings of worthiness expand. You're worthy no matter what, but your feelings of worthiness expand. And guess what? Then there's more of you for people to enjoy. And that is one of the main reasons why people shy away from healing themselves from physical or mental health issues, because they don't like themselves very much. They don't have that much faith or trust in themselves. And so they're like, oh shit, there's more of me that's going to be available to me and to other people. I don't really want to spend that much time with myself. Or holy shit, if my personality gets bigger and I show more people who I am and how I'm operating, are they going to like me? Are they going to walk away from me? Are they going to resonate with me? Are they going to think I'm crazy? Right? And so if you want to heal, you need to realize people are going to see more of you. So how comfortable are you with people seeing more of you? All right, so it's my little speech. What other questions do you guys have that are coming up? You can start with water. Start with water. Lemon water, in particularly in the morning. It activates your liver, which releases toxins. Your liver is your filtration system for your body. So if you add lemon to your water in the morning, not fake lemon, real lemon, it's going to, see, they already think I'm nuts. So who gives a shit? Be whoever you want to be. So this will activate your liver and it releases toxins, which doesn't just help your physical body, but it helps your emotional body. In Chinese medicine, the liver is the seat of anger. And so any kind of resentment or anger that's being held within your body, that's either yours or your ancestors or past life stuff or whatever, is going to be released as you cleanse your liver. But just start with drinking like this. This is 40 ounces. I drink about 6 of these a day. Now, I'm on the extreme end of the scale here, my friends. You don't need to do that. but at least two, at least 80 ounces of water. I've been drinking half tea and half lemonade. So is it sugary lemonade? Because, again, we want our system. It's amazing how much when we take care of our physical selves, how much our cells themselves start to breathe more. They start to open more. They start to expand more. They can duplicate. They can replicate. They can heal. They can grow. They can share with cells around them when we hydrate them. And it's also important to talk about absorption. Like, are you actually absorbing what you're putting into your body? So there's so many different layers to this that's important to focus on when we're talking about enhancing because they're so connected, our physical and emotional health. Your nutrition and the way that you take care of your body and the way that you rest and you don't hustle and burn out your adrenals is going to make a big difference. Raspberry lemonade. Yeah, and herbal tea is awesome too. I do like 3 cups a day of decaf herbal tea. I usually do ginger or turmeric tea or lemon tea or tulsi tea. Those are all really good. Okay, Tina, thanks for being here, honey. I appreciate you bringing your energy to this live, love. But yeah, I mean, it's also just identifying, how much sugar are you having? And getting to know, it's important here. One of the things that I noticed I was missing in my journey was education about my unique physiology. Because I'd been to all the doctors, I'd been to the naturopaths, I'd taken all the supplements, I was eating organic food, I was doing all this stuff for me, right? But then when I really learned not only about how our physiology operates as human beings, even more, and I'm an educated woman, and I knew a lot about the physical body, a lot about physiology, but there was a lot more to learn. And I feel like just like when we're talking about the universe, there's infinite information to learn from. Same goes for our physiology. It's such an intricate system. The more you can learn about your physiology, dive into the biology a little bit, and then learn, after you learn the basics, the unique physiology of your specific physical system. It's a game changer with the decisions you make for yourself on a daily basis. Hi, Anita. Any guidance on heaviness of work in my life and battle with time? I have a lot of thoughts on this. Stacy, sugar is his drug of choice. The thing is too, is like, just shift your sugar. Like, use monk fruit extract, use stevia. Stevia is actually really, really good for the gut. It's very healing for the gut. Monk fruit extract is fine. You can use dates to sweeten things. You can use organic maple syrup, There's so many ways to sweeten, and I never, ever, ever thought that my palate could change, because I would come home from high school and I would eat almost an entire pound of pasta with butter and Parmesan cheese because I loved it by myself. And then I would have a bowl of ice cream with 3 scoops later in the night. And I was happy as a clam. Maybe that's why I have so many physical health issues now. I don't know. But I mean, it's interesting because it doesn't take long for your palate to change. We just don't have the freaking patience to do it. Like that first week that I had to cut out garlic, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to survive? And now like, I don't even desire it. In fact, keep it away from me. No, thank you. Ugh. It's just so funny how when we make these changes for ourselves as we leave. Oh, and Stacy, that's really funny that you bring up the autism bipolar piece. So I had gotten this stool testing panel done at one point. And it was so interesting because there was one value on the results that I just didn't really understand. And so I looked it up and I was researching it and reading about it and asked my doctor about it and stuff. And it was interesting because the bacteria that was high on this test was the bacteria that is present in people with autism. And I was like, that's fascinating, because my son has a few symptoms and my dad definitely had some symptoms. And I think I probably have a couple here and there that I've just learned how to like integrate and work with. But it's just so interesting because so many things lift when you heal your gut and when you heal your body, you know. And it's really cool to be able to yeah, that's what I said too, Stacy, but you've got to try shallots, try doing shallot. You might not need to cut out garlic though. Garlic is actually really, really, really good for your body, but my body hates it. And so it's just learning these things, right? um, so, all right, I'm going back to you, Anita, I promise. So, any guidance on the heaviness of work and my life and battle with time? So, I have a lot of thoughts on this because that was my big shift. I had the same problem. When I was a traditional therapist, oh my gosh, I used to be in such a lack mindset. I used to be like, counting. I was like obsessive, counting the number of patients I had a week. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, okay, so I need to add this person here and this person there. I was working so much. At one point, I was working 7 days a week because I wanted to save the world. I was so in savior mentality for so long. And I was that bleeding heart social worker. And thank goodness I learned differently. But yeah, so for me, one of the things that people kept telling me was the more that you cut back on your work, the more that you lean back and you connect more with your core self, with your higher self, with you know, the more you meditate and create space in your brain, really create space in your being by bringing in these energetic strategies, the more time you're going to have. And I was like, blah blah blah. It's like spiritual mumbo jumbo, just trying to sell me shit, right? But it works. It really, really works. I have to tell you, it started with meditation, that I was meditating every day. And then when I didn't meditate, I would notice I really didn't feel well. And so I'm like, interesting. And then I noticed that I was bouncing back much more quickly when I would have reactions to things physically or mentally or emotionally. And so that became a higher level of efficiency because I was just managing my interactions more quickly and with greater ease and with less stress. So I had so many resources freed up because of that. And when we're talking about heaviness around work, I would tune into that. I would really tune into whose heaviness is this? Is this even my heaviness? Or am I taking on the heaviness of my boss? Or am I taking on the heaviness of my clients or the environment at work? Is this a heaviness around work that has been carried forward from ancestral patterns and relationships that they never resolved? And is this mine to shift? And so this is again about putting on your boss pants and saying, in my life, what are the most important things to me? So for me, the things that are most important to me, vitality, freedom. And the number one top way for me to get everything I want is reverence. Reverence for God, reverence for myself, for my body, for my higher self, for spirit, for the universe. And the more deeply that I sink into reverence and really feel it and allow myself to completely get washed in it, the more efficiency I have, the more health I have, the more connection I have. And that's what I have found is that the reverence piece is key. And it's not just the universe, it's also that really intimate, connected relationship with God. We do learn how to compensate. We do. Time is our enemy. Yes. And I think that when we put it that way, it makes it feel like, you know, this really awful thing this villain, this evil villain that we need to fight, right? And which is really not the case because time doesn't exist anywhere else but here on Earth. This is a human concept. Time is something that was developed by humans to understand how we operate. Whereas before we had technology, before we had all of these bells and whistles and artificial light and all this shit, all women, their cycles, their menstrual cycles were aligned with the new moon to bleed and the full moon to ovulate before artificial light came into the picture. And so our bodies know what to do. Our bodies are actually naturally cycling with the earth and the universe. And we are distracted by all this other shit that's come into our lives. And so the more we can come online with those natural cycles, the more time is going to open up for us. The gut is connected to the mind. Yes, it is. My neighbors call me the neighborhood social worker, which is great. Yep, I love that. But how much does it serve you? Are you serving from your overflow? Not to mention, Stacy, that you're taking care of two people. You're the one who's saying you're a one-woman show and all these fucking people in the neighborhood are coming to you, which is great. But are you setting really clear boundaries about what you're available for and when? And whether your cup is absolutely full to overflowing and then you're scooping out of your saucer to give to them instead of your cup. Yeah, and saving people disempowers them. It disempowers them. We don't want to take away the lessons that people need to learn for themselves. So let me know if that helps you guys. I'm going to sign off for today. I have an invitation for you guys to join me in the Sacred Integration Mastermind. This is where we are going to be couching this is for spiritual business owners. This is for people who desire to, they're already seeing clients in their spiritual business. They've already gotten to a certain level of success, even if that's a couple $100 a week, right? They've gotten to a point where they're saying, yeah, okay, I'm making a little bit and I've dipped my toe in and I've seen some clients and I'm ready to expand my income. And I'm ready to expand my client base and I'm ready to really go all in and dive into this. And you don't have to go all in, but I'm really ready to expand this, right, to its next level, which includes taking yourself to your next level, right? Because it's all energetics. And you are the foundation of your business, but your business is also an energetic entity. So all of this vitality that we're talking about for ourselves also applies to our business. How can we heighten the vitality of our business? How can we optimize the vitality of how our business runs and its efficiency? Right? So I'm inviting you into this space. I'll drop the link here in a moment so that you guys can read about it. There's extended payment plans available too that you guys can check out. But this is going to be a 4-month opportunity to get trained in how to do all of this for yourself, right? It's going to be called a trauma-informed care certificate, but it's how do you stabilize your human and rewire and bring your human into a sense of nervous system safety, in addition to combining that with your soul, combining that with your energy and allowing your energy and your soul to feel that absolutely deep, infinite, sustainable form of safety that will carry not just you, but your business. And to me, it is wildly important to bring other practitioners into this and certify them from somebody who knows what the hell they're talking about with trauma and with energy, to be able to put these together so that we can expand the reach to allow other people to be able to experience this level of safety and connection and intimacy and freedom and vitality and income. Okay? So yes, I've learned the hard way how to say no. Yeah, a lot of times that happens, which is one of the reasons, of course, why I do what I do, because I'm like, hey, people, don't be like Laura Mazzata and crash on your face with sepsis. Like, I'm going to kind of educate you so that you don't end up, crawling back for 6 years from, the depths of not functioning. So it's really important. I'm telling you, if you want to get to the next level in your business and your income, you absolutely have to boss up and take care of yourself. You will not be able to sustain it and you will not be able to continue growing if you do not, because you're going to burn out or your business is going to burn out or both. So I'm here to help you with that. I'm going to drop the link here in just a second. Let me know if you have questions. Reach out if you're interested. I'm happy to support you and assist you and talk you through any kind of thoughts or questions or hesitations or resistance that comes up around it, because it's that important. And I really, really want you to be able to take your mission seriously. Take your role on this planet very, very seriously. Okay? Take your vitality seriously, because it's the foundation of everything. All right? I love you. I'll drop the link here in a second. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon.